All right, well, now that it's September, the sun's in a different position, so it's right in my face because the sun's so much further down for this studio. This is the only studio that the mosquito drones haven't discovered yet. You know who they are and what they are. But we're here to discuss how is the world food supply doing and what's it projected to do sort of in the future, though that's kind of hard to tell with the war and all. Let's just go through some basics and then I'll talk about it a little bit. Let's go over to the first chart, which is cereal production, which is one of the main staples now of humanity around the world is cereal. So it's very important to watch how the grains that make cereal are doing. Let's go look at the production. So how's food pricing doing in July? Let's go over to the food price index and see what the prices are doing right now. As you can see, they are basically on a steep incline. So is there a food crisis? Well, honestly, I don't think there really is in the conventional wisdom. I don't think that we're out eating the supply yet. We're not even close to that. And this is why. Because here, at least in the US, we throw half of the food away that we produce. Half. That keeps going up a little bit more and more as we get going. People are becoming more and more picky or something and throwing away a lot of good food that could be eaten. And another problem now is, of course, the California drought, and that's not helping anything for the food supply, which is causing a price spike in fruits and vegetables. But also sugar is just, off the wall in pricing increase. Meat, sugar, and dairy. But there's absolutely no need to eat any of that. Maybe some cheese now and then. I happen to dollop in that, but mostly you can just ignore it and eat other things. So that's why I think that food supplies haven't even reached the halfway point, because we're living on less than half of what we're producing. So that means that we still have half more food that's still available if we just somehow put some energy into it and save this food. Now, one problem, let's say that we go into a war. As you know, in a war, if you knock out one farmer, that's going to kill off his crops and his land for production, because only that farmer is going to know what to do next anyway. So if he gets killed, that area of food production is taken out of the equation for that country at the time of war. But my point here is that factory farming is the worst way we could ever go with food production. Because if you're in a war and they take out one huge corporation of food production, that's a huge amount of food, versus if it was split up all over the country in little farms and farmlets, with farmers actually making a little money for a change, instead of going more and more into the scientific, genetically engineered food and go more and more into organic food production. It's the science has already been done in the organics. Nature did it for us. It's already there. We don't have to spend decades and years trying to engineer what's already been engineered perfectly to work on this planet. So I really don't think it's come down to dog eat dog. I know a lot of the talking heads tend to push that to make sure you get plenty of food supplies and this and that, and fill up the pantry forever, you know, and that's just throwing food away. After 6 months, most of the stuff's outdated and full of weevils, and you just got to throw it away anyway, so why do that? You'll know when we're going to run out of food. It's not going to be this guessing game. Right now, as you can see from the chart, yes, the food prices have spiked and are now declining. Let's hope they continue to decline. Here in California, there's been no decline in food price. They're still skyrocketing. We can kind of look into the future, which is now, to see what happens when you run out of food. All you have to do is go look at Venezuela, what's happening there as they're running out of food. Look at what the population's doing. You can study it, you know, follow along on YouTube, you know, what's happening with Venezuela and their food shortages. Now, why the rest of the world isn't stepping in and helping Venezuela, I do not get it. Don't get that at all. We throw away half our food, but yet we can't donate some of it to the Venezuelan people. If I had it, I'd sure donate it to them. If it was my country, that would be something to actually be proud of. That would be something worth saluting a flag for, you know, donating to the needy, which are Venezuelans at this time. One other thing we can do as people is grow our own food, right? If we grew our own organic gardens, and a lot of places like here in California, that's very difficult because of the bug situation. They're vicious when it comes to devouring your garden before you can harvest it. But they'll wait right until the end, and then they'll just, in one day, it'll just be flat on the ground, all eaten up by bugs and other things. So I understand that it's difficult in California without using a lot of different pesticides, but yeah, I think we're getting invaded by these drones. You know the ones. Alex, you know, he told us about them, spying on us, seeing how much food we're eating, seeing if it's coming down to doggy dog. All right, everyone. I definitely appreciate all the comments on the last videos and the new videos, and I appreciate all the ups and the downs and the new subscribers. And until next time.